All right, I'm going to do a quick analysis of covariance. We have several assumptions that we need to meet. The first one is that we have a continuous dependent variable, which is our days variable. We have a continuous independent variable that acts as our covariate, which is our pre-days. And then we have a categorical independent variable, which is our grouping variable. We also have to have independence of observations, which is just by the design. We also need to check that the covariate is linearly related to the dependent variable at each level of the independent variable. So I'm going to check that right now. The first thing I need to do is go to Data, slide down to Split File. I want to organize my output by group, and our grouping variable is also called groups. So I clicked OK, and nothing really happens, but now we've split the file. I'm going to go to Chart Builder, and I'm going to grab Scatter, Dot, and just grab Simple Scatter and drag it to my preview pane. I want to take the pre-days and make that my y-axis, and the days and make it my x-axis. Then I click OK. You can see that I have 3 different scatter plots, one for the placebo, one for the low vitamin C dose, and one for the high vitamin C dose. And like I said before, if you double click it and then you go to Elements and do Fit Line at Total, just X that out, you can see that we have a fit line there. Do it again, double click it, Elements, Fit Line, hit close, close that, and last but not least, and you can see that they're all linearly related. Now the biggest thing we want to do is not to forget to reset the split file. You can go to the Recall dialog and just go to Split File and just hit Reset, but don't forget to hit OK. And now we've unsplit the file. All right, so now we want to make sure that we have homogeneity of regression slopes. So we're going to go to Analyze. We're going to go to General Linear Model, Univariate. My fixed factor is my group. My covariate is my pre-days. My dependent variable is my days. So we have days, group, and pre-days. We're going to click Model. It defaults to full factorial. We're going to click Build Terms. I'm going to bring these guys over one at a time. So group and then pre-days. And then I'm going to hold down Shift, which highlights both of them. This interaction is already filled. We have all these different options. We're just going to leave it at interaction that's already filled. And then that does group times pre-days, which is the interaction term. We say continue, and we're just going to say OK. And so we can see our between subjects factor, placebo, low dose, high dose. And then we want to come here and look at our group times pre-days, our interaction term, and we really want it not to be significant. And we don't have significance here, which is indicating that we do have homogeneity of regression slopes. Okay, now we're going to check one more assumption, but we're going to go ahead and just run the Ancova. So we're going to go here to Analyze, back to General Linear Model, Univariate, or I could have gone to the Recall dialog box, go to Model, put it back at full factorial, and click Continue. We're going to go to Estimated Marginal Means and do it for group, and compare main effects, and we'll use Bonferroni. We're going to click the Save button, and we're just going to ask for standardized. I know I said in the PowerPoint to do unstandardized, but all we really need is standardized. We're going to go to Options. We're going to do Descriptives, Estimates, and Homogeneity Tests, and OK. All right, so the next thing we want to check that our dependent variable is normally distributed for each group. So we're going to run the Explore routine. So I'm going to go to Descriptive. Here we have Explore here. Bring my standardized residual over and my grouping variable to the factor. And I'm just going to ask for plots. I'm going to uncheck Stem and Leave and check Normality Plots with Tests. I'm going to say OK. Scroll down here and we can see we have no significance. So we have normality across the dependent variable for the different levels of the grouping variable. We're going to do it one more time, and we're going to kick group out, and we're going to just say OK. And we have normally distributed standardized residuals as assessed by the Shapiro-Wilks because we're not significantly different. We're going to look at the Levine's test, and we can see that we don't have significance for the Levine's test. So we've met all our assumptions, and now we can just go through and evaluate our Ancova. So now we have the between subjects factors, which tells us about the different levels of our independent variable. We can skip the Levines because we've already evaluated that. We have our descriptive statistics. These are the unadjusted descriptive statistics. And then we come down here and we have our estimates, which have been adjusted for the covariate. Here we can see that we have a significant difference among the groups, right? And we can look at our pairwise comparisons and we see that the placebo is significantly different than the low dose vitamin C, and the placebo is significantly different than the high dose vitamin C. However, the low dose vitamin C and the high dose vitamin C are not significantly different.